My name's Eric Magette. I teach science, primarily anatomy and physiology, and some other sciences at the high school. I'm also an athletic trainer, so I work with the sports teams and student council sponsor as well. This is my 24th year teaching and the 18th year that I've been teaching at Eudora High School. My job is to take students, as a teacher of science, I think my job is to first of all instill a curiosity in my students. I want them to see the natural world, to look at the natural world, and then ask questions about the natural world. I want them to see, especially with anatomy and physiology, when something happens in their body, I want them to be able to ask, why is that happening? And then feel empowered to go out and find the answers. That understand that just because we might not know the answer to something doesn't mean we can't figure out what that answer is. And so I think that's the core of being a science teacher, is instilling that curiosity and then that desire to answer those questions that we all naturally have. In anatomy and physiology, we're looking right now at tissues in the body. We're getting ready to jump into the organ systems. And so we're starting out by looking at the different tissues that make up the organs that we're going to talk about through the rest of the year. So we're working a little bit with the microscopes. We're talking about some different diseases that arise in the epithelial and connective tissues. And we're talking about how the different properties of these tissues all work together to give each of your organs, whether it's a bone or your stomach or your heart or your brain, all those tissues, how they work together to allow those organs to function, which then eventually allows us to look at how those organs all work together to allow your body as a whole to function. My favorite part about working in Eudora is definitely the community. A very small town feel, even though we're growing, obviously. But I love the fact that I've known my kids' teachers throughout their education, and my kids' teachers have known me. I know that I love that I know my students' parents and that they know me. I love that I see my students at the grocery store and at church and at the library and downtown at the ice cream shop. I really like that sense of community. I also really appreciate how the community really rallies behind and gets behind the school. The schools are a very important part of the heartbeat, really, of the community of Eudora, and I take a lot of pride in that, and it's really a part of my job that I enjoy, is that connection with the community. The most rewarding thing to me about being an educator, especially at the high school level, is you really get to see students grow from children into adults. We'll get, as a student council sponsor, we do the first day orientation for ninth graders, and so I get to see every student on their very first day of ninth grade at Eudora High School. And then in my anatomy and physiology class, I get a lot of seniors. So you're really able to see those students mature and grow into these just really awesome adults, and watch them walk across that stage and get that diploma, and to know that they're going to go on and do really, really awesome things, and to know that I maybe had a small part in that is really, really meaningful to me. One of the highlights has been having my own kid in class. That's really, as a teacher, that's really, really a neat thing, to be able to spend time with your own kids. So I've really appreciated the times that I've had Matt in class, and I'm really looking forward to Rachel coming up next year. Some of my favorite times teaching have been the times where there's big stuff going on. We won a state championship, or we're building and adding on to the school, or even sometimes when it's uncertain, like this year with a new principal at the high school. Those times when there's really, really big stuff going on and there's really a great energy are some of my favorite times, and some of my favorite memories of teaching. When my kids leave every year, especially the upperclassmen, the thing that I tell them more than anything else that I wish for them is I hope that they are, wherever life takes them, I hope that they're able to find something that they enjoy and gives them as much fulfillment as what I do every day does for me. It's a very challenging job, but it's an incredibly rewarding job, and I'm blessed to be able to do it, and I hope that my students are able to find that same level of satisfaction, whatever they do with their lives.